the world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed in Tennessee. I never leave. I'm always in the same spot. Boring. Cody, where are you today?
I'm out in the middle of Texas, out off a dirt road, way out here in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm in Austin, but this is not really Austin where I'm at. So I'm out in the country. I went from the most populated county in the United States of America to got to be one of the least. It's got to be up there, pretty close. There's
It's not that different. At least it doesn't sound that different from like me living on the farm in Nyota,
mm-hmm.
and then going to Knoxville for work. Obviously, Knoxville and Austin. I imagine Austin's quite a bit bigger. But is that what you're dealing with there? You're just out in the country with nothing? As far as fine dining in your city, is it going to be like Applebee's and like Chili's?
No. There's no fine dining. There's no city. It's like the closest town is. I'm actually very close to a place called LaGrange. You know the ZZ Top song?
Mm-hmm.
LaGrange.
Well, no, I don't know the ZZ Top song, but I've heard of LaGrange.
Well, you've heard the song too. I don't know
sure.
if you might not know it off the top of your head, but anyway, LaGrange is a ZZ Top song, and it's about a brothel that used to operate out in Texas. It was called the Chicken Ranch, and it operated illegally from I think 1905 to 1973, something like that. The Chicken Ranch did, and anyway, during the Depression, business was slow, and they had to change the prices up. They had to lower their prices, and it got so bad during the Great Depression that the Chicken Ranch, they were at one point charging one chicken per sex act, and it helped to grow the business. Eventually, they had a big surplus of chickens, and so then the woman that was running the place just turned it into literally a chicken ranch, chickens and eggs, and plus there was the prostitution going on.
So you had to bring a chicken as a donation, like bringing a canned food item to a basketball game for tickets. Okay.
Yeah, one chicken per sex act. I mean, that's a pretty good deal in today's climate, It's a fucking Biden economy.
Do you have a gun? Are you protected out in Texas? Big gun state.
No, I don't have a gun. So hopefully nothing goes awry here, The guys around me, though, seem to be pretty country people, like the kind of folks that would have your back, if something went wrong. I don't know what could go wrong out here, but it is out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's literally down a dirt road. So I'm back in rural America, but I kind of miss this. I had a little taste of LA for 2.5 months. I kind of miss being a redneck, drinking beer in the yard and shit. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
Well, you look good. You look happy.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, it was solid.
Did you have a party?
Solid. Had a little bit of a get together on Saturday. Yeah, after the basketball game.
Yeah, how was the party?
It was fun. It was okay. Nothing too exciting. It was the vibes kind of got ruined, I guess, after Tennessee lost to Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you going to do? It's Kentucky. They've got elite guard play.
Yeah, they're really good when it comes to scoring, and Tennessee didn't shoot well, and Tennessee couldn't get any stops, and it was a humbling loss, hopefully. But, you had Arizona lose to USC.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. They went over there to the Galen Center and got beat.
So that pretty much eliminates Arizona from 1-seed contention. So now it's just going to be Tennessee seeing if they can hold off North Carolina. So ultimately, it doesn't look like you lost much by losing to Kentucky. Had you beaten them, and you knew Arizona was going to lose, you probably would have had the 1 seed wrapped up. So you still
Mm-hmm.
got a little bit of work to do. The loss did hurt a little bit, but it's not a season ruiner by any means. So yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
Now,
I've snapped and cleared.
North Carolina beating Duke, though. Does that give them an advantage? They also beat us head to head. I don't know if that matters. I mean, it was at
I don't,
home.
yeah, I don't think them beating us head to head is going to matter much. But North Carolina is alive. It feels like. I mean, I think North Carolina, if they win their conference tournament and beat Duke a third time on the way to doing it, and they do it on Saturday, that'll probably put Tennessee in a bad position. Because I don't even know if Tennessee, at that point, they'd have to win to get to the SEC championship. I don't know if winning the SEC championship would even carry any weight because they kind of already do all the seeding on Saturday night. So I don't know. You know, the job definitely not done in terms of getting a 1 seed. But it does appear that Tennessee still has the inside track as of now.
Everybody acts like the conference tournament doesn't really matter, you know. So I don't know if it does or not, but
I think a game or so will matter this year because it's so close.
yeah. Well, so you had a good weekend otherwise, though. You know, good birthday and stuff, and
yeah, solid birthday. I've just been thinking.
oh, go ahead, please. Sorry.
What? What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've just been thinking all day about Emma Stone, watching my girl win her best picture last night. That's where my mind has been all day, just thinking about her solidifying herself as the new Meryl Streep. It's been a long ride for me and Emma. I've been with her from day one, from the moment I first saw her in Superbad, and I've been riding with her, and I'm happy to see her become one of 14 women to win Best Actress multiple times.
She was in tears when she won that. She was crying a lot up on stage, and then Robert Downey Jr. he won too, first one for him.
Yeah, he acted very flippant about his.
He seems kind of like a real asshole. Like, I don't know if he is or not, but he seems to me like the kind of guy that if you met him, he'd just be a total prick.
Yes, he does seem that way, but I wonder if that's like his appeal. Because it does seem like, well, yeah, but I mean, like being authentic like that and just kind of being sarcastic. I mean, not everyone who's sarcastic is an asshole. Like, he might be a genuinely a good person, especially now that he's sober. But like, oh, that's just Robert being Robert. You know, I got a little bit of that going for me too, where I can kind of be a dick to some people and they might be offended. But ultimately, for the most part, I think I can get away with it. I think Robert's got a little bit of that himself because it seems like people like him. Like, people seemed happy for him last night that he finally won.
Yeah, but you can still be an asshole. I disagree with you. I think if you're sarcastic, you got to be a little bit of an asshole. But to me, asshole is not necessarily a negative term. You know, it's not a term of endearment either. But like, there's different kinds of assholes. And
no, I think, to me, asshole is bad.
I think most all men are assholes.
To me, asshole is bad. Asshole has a negative connotation. Smartass, you know, it can kind of be the good version of asshole. Oh, yeah, that guy's a smartass, but he's a good guy. Like, that's okay. Asshole typically is going to mean jerk. Don't like him.
I don't know. I think sarcasm comes from. I think you are an asshole if you're sarcastic. I think like, that guy's being an asshole. But there's levels of assholes. You know, there's like little tight asshole, and then there's gaping asshole. You know, Robert Downey Jr. seems to me like a gaping asshole. But that's just me.
See, I think he could possibly just be a smartass.
And you'd always rather be a smartass than a dumbass.
Correct. I think he might just be a smartass that gets by with it, but that people actually like.
I think what I mean is he seems a little pretentious.
Yeah, that's fine, but that can be his brand.
I understand he's a Hollywood elite, and he's, they're out there sacrificing babies and stuff. But Oh, by the way, did you see the big black girl that won the best supporting actress? She said God is so good. That was the first thing she said. She got up there and she said, she was emotional. She was happy about winning. She said, "God is so good. I want to thank God." And then
Be
but
careful.
and all the Hollywood elites are just sitting out there like, "Oh, someone thanking God for." Those people are so far from God, they have no idea what she's even talking about.
I watched that. I didn't get that vibe that people were upset that she thanked God.
They weren't upset. They were just like, she got no reaction to any of that.
What did you want? Like everybody to cheer and say Amen, Hallelujah?
These people got their rituals.
I don't
They're
think
out
that's
there.
what was happening. I think people were just taking in the moment of her crying and how moved she was. She had a great speech.
You've never seen one of these Hollywood after parties where they're out there in the circle lighting the people on fire, wearing their red robes, and
I've
uh,
watched True Detective season 1. I got an idea of what goes on.
yeah. What's the deal with those red robes? Some kind of secret society or something, I guess.
I thought she came across as a sweetheart. I kind of thought she might get. She was the big favorite to win, the heavy favorite, and
Come on.
I thought that Emily Blunt might steal it from her for her role in Oppenheimer. I thought she was better. I thought was it Divine Joy Rudolph? I think is her name. I think she was great in the holdovers,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought Emily Blunt was really, really good in like the biggest movie of the year. So I thought she might steal it,
I find
but
Emily
they
Blunt to
gave it
be
to
the
Robert Downey instead.
I find Emily Blunt to be the sexiest 41-year-old woman in the world.
Well, I don't have a full list of 41-year-olds, but I do find her to be beautiful.
She is. She is beautiful. Yeah, Oppenheimer cleaned up though. They took care of everything. What do you think about this? John Cena presenting the award naked, and a lot of people are pointing out, and by people I mean right wing conspiracy theorists, are pointing out the humiliation ritual as part of the Hollywood elite class, and
So for John Cena to become accepted into the Hollywood elite, he had to get naked. Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah, and we're just one step closer to hell, is what the right wingers are saying on Twitter. That's why I can't get behind the right wing. As crazy as the left is, I mean, these right wingers that are so far out there talking about all the biblical stuff, I can't get behind that either.
Yeah, you have a different internet than me. I didn't see any of that. It's just another example of you getting caught up in stuff that isn't real life and being mad about it and taken aback by it. I didn't see it. I watched the
I'm
Grammys and I enjoyed it. So I thought it was a good night for awards. I thought all in all, you throw in the Emmys and the Grammys as well. I thought award show had a good 2024. I didn't see anything about the devil conspiracies though. It's not my side of the internet.
You got to update your algorithm so you can get all this juicy stuff. I'm not mad about it. I'm interested when I see these things. Like, these
Nope.
people are really nuts.
I avoided it, and like I said, I enjoyed the winners. Kimmel, whatever, take him or leave him. But I was just happy for my girl Emma Stone,
Kimmel,
the
no,
new Meryl Streep.
that's another Hollywood elite. That Jimmy Kimmel. The late night hosts are just outdated. They're just
Well, yeah,
outdated and boring.
the concept is old and outdated as well.
Fallon's the worst one to me, but I mean Kimmel's right there too. They're I tend to. I mean, if I'm going to watch one of them, like if I'm watching the late night local news, I'm probably going ABC. So I see more Kimmel than I do the rest of them. But if I see Jimmy Fallon, I turn the TV off.
See, it's funny you mentioned those two as being outdated because to me, no one's aged more poorly than Colbert.
I mean, he's right there with them, but I mean, to me, he's the least bad of the three.
See, I beg to differ. I think he's the worst of the three.
Okay.
But maybe I just see his bad viral clips because I don't watch any of them. I've been more caught up, when you're talking about conspiracies and the devil stuff. I am fully into the royal family conspiracy now after what happened over the weekend.
The royal family.
Yeah, have you been paying attention to Kate Middleton and her being missing for the last couple months?
No, I have no idea what. Who is Kate Middleton? She's a
Harry's,
princess or something.
yeah, Princess William or Prince William's wife, the one with a couple kids.
Okay, now is she the one they wouldn't accept in the family because she was
No,
mixed
no,
race?
that's Meghan Markle. That's Meghan Markle and Harry. They got kicked out of the family. But
Okay, yeah.
Bald William, and his beautiful wife, uh, Kate, they've been together for a while. They got a couple kids, but anyway, she hasn't really been seen over the last couple months, which has led to a whole bunch of conspiracies and people thinking like, what's the problem? Is she having all this plastic surgery? Is she sick? Did she leave the family? Are they going to kill her like they killed Princess Diana? And no one knows. But over the weekend, she posted yesterday from their shared joint Twitter account and Instagram, or I guess she posted on their Instagram, their shared Instagram account, a picture of, I guess it was Mother's Day in England yesterday, which is a whole nother thing. Why the hell is Mother's Day in March? It seems strange. We should have one just universal Mother's Day if we're going to do it. But either way,
Yeah, I saw that.
she posted a picture and everyone ripped it to shreds and was like, this is a fake picture. This is clearly fake. This is doctored. And everyone's like, oh no, conspiracy theorists, you loons. But then the AP and Reuters, or however you say that, that news site, Rueter, you know what I'm talking about. Reuters, whatever it is. AP and AP and both of them actually said, quit sharing this picture. It's doctored. We don't believe it. Like, stop sharing it. And then people were pointing out like the curves and the way the certain things didn't match and how the hands didn't match and the little girl's skirt looked weird. So like, this is doctored. Stop sharing it. To which then the royal family's X account, the couple's X account, posted today like, yeah, just like any amateur photographer, sometimes I mess around with my pictures and work on editing stuff. Sorry for the confusion. Ha ha. Mm-hmm. So they admitted that the photo was doctored. So she's been missing for 2 months. No public appearances. Nobody can find her. They post this picture. Everyone's like, fake, fake, fake. And then they actually like admit that it's fake.
So you think they're keeping her down in the chamber in the castle somewhere, like just throwing her like buckets of water and food through a sliding window once a day or something?
I don't know what the hell's going on. But then, like, I was reading the replies, and someone on TikTok has done a really good deep dive on it and thinks that the picture that they actually posted yesterday that was edited was actually from, like, November. And they just, like, tried to change the colors of the outfits and stuff.
So why is she estranged? What's the deal with that?
I don't think people know. I don't think people know. I think that's a part of the mystery.
She just hasn't been in the public eye at all? And
yeah, they can't find her. Like, some people think she had some botched surgeries. Some people have said the joke has been that she got a butt lift. Other people have said that she's just like estranged from the family and leaving. And some people, I don't know if people think she's dead or whatever, but she just hasn't been around for 2 months.
Yeah, maybe she's just taking a sabbatical. It's just, if I was in the royal family, I'd think I'd want a break from time to time. Just get out of the monarchy, maybe go to the Caribbean and hang out for a bit.
Well, I think you're allowed to say you're going on vacation. I think the problem is when you try to post fake pictures.
So it's raising red flags on why those pictures are being posted.
Well, the red flags were already there because people have been looking for this girl for a month and a half, 2 months. But yeah, now we're full-fledged. We've gone mainstream. Like, we have caught them, and now I am sucked into the conspiracy.
It's like those people in Toronto that were trying to catch that serial killer, and they like figured out his address and everything. You get enough people on the internet together in one of these communities, they're pretty good at finding things out.
I was going to compare it to the Free Britney movement, but what happened with Toronto and serial killers?
I forget. It was something about this guy. Well, he was like, I don't know. I saw it on that. There was a Netflix documentary a couple years ago about it was "Don't Fuck with Cats," I think was the name of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
that guy was like putting these kittens into like vacuum sealed bags and like sucking all the air out of them so the kittens just couldn't breathe anymore. He's a real monster. He's killing
I,
cats and stuff.
I never watched that documentary, but I saw it on Netflix, available for streaming, but I never watched it.
I don't know if he was actually a I think he did kill people, but anyway, it was kind of like you're talking about, like these internet communities. They just tracked him down, figured out where he was at, and eventually they got him, I think.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, I didn't even realize that was going on, but down with the monarchy. That's the whole point of that, I guess.
That's the whole point. We're taking the monarchy down, and this is going to be another blow. We got to get them before they kill her like they killed Princess Diana.
Yeah, yeah. Princess Diana was an Eagles fan.
I mean, I've seen the picture of her in that sweater, but
Always
I
made
don't
me
know.
wonder.
I've never had her on record as saying she's an Eagles fan.
Always made me wonder if the driver in that tunnel that hit her was a Cowboys fan. Wouldn't it be something if Jerry Jones was driving that car? You find out years later.
I think Jerry would have somebody do the driving for him. I don't think he would physically be the one trying to take out Princess Diana.
Yeah, yeah, like DeMarcus Ware in a tunnel. He actually just beat her to death.
Well, he'd be too young. This was, the mid-'90s.
Well, I'm just trying to. You don't have to pick apart every example.
Emmett Smith, maybe.
Well, Emmett Smith is not a. He wasn't. I was trying to think of a big scary guy. He's a running back, so like,
well,
I wouldn't say Michael Irvin or Troy.
Emmett Smith would whip your ass.
Well, that's not the point.
I think he could beat Princess Diana up. I mean, that is the point.
Okay, is Emmett Smith really a badass? Was he really like? Without that offensive line, would he really hold all those rushing records?
I mean, either way, with or without the offensive line, he was doing it well into his late 30s. Running backs these days are done at 30.
You give Barry Sanders an offensive line, and he's got more rushing yards than Emmett Smith.
Well, that's fine. You picked one guy in, like, NFL history.
Yeah, I mean, there's others.
But, by the way, I mean, are you going to act like Barry Sanders is like a badass, a physically imposing guy? I don't picture him beating anybody's ass.
No, we're just talking rushing records here. Actually, I don't really know what we're talking about. Something about Princess Diana getting beat up in a tunnel, and I don't know. Down with the monarchy.
That we can agree on.
So the first day that I arrived in Austin, I figured out it also happened to be the first day of the South by Southwest Festival, which is going on.
I knew that was lined up with your. I knew that was lined up with your arrival, but I didn't know if you knew.
I didn't. I had no idea until I got here, and they've got all the streets closed off and everything. So it's that's apparently a pretty big deal here.
What is South by Southwest? Is it like a music festival?
It started as a music festival in the 80s, according to my research, but it's turned into an even bigger deal. It's like there's comedy involved now. There's movies like.
I was going to say, I've heard of like movie awards, like the South by Southwest Awards and such.
Yeah, they show like film premieres and stuff, and it's a whole big deal. But the first day I got here, though, I was going to tell you, I saw another naked man. You remember how I told you my last day in L.A., I saw that man on the corner spreading his cheeks apart?
Uh-huh.
My first day in Austin, I'm driving down to this park, the Zilker Metropolitan Park's what they call it. It's a place with, white women and dogs. Just people walk around. But I saw a naked man standing on the street corner, busy street corner, with a hard, erect penis. Just
Did you get his number?
I don't know that he had a number. He was standing there completely nude, and he was hard. That was the crazy part about it, is he was just standing there hard. It's like traffic was just... I don't know how he had all that blood flow just standing on the corner. Maybe it was the sunlight he was taking in.
What kind of hog we talking?
I can send you a picture.
No, I don't want a picture. I'm asking you to describe it.
Well, it was uncircumcised, and it was about, I'd say a little above average. Maybe a 7-inch hog. Just
nice hog.
Standing there erect on the street corner.
And you took a picture of it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I had to send it to the boys, like, hey, look at this shit. They're like, wow, what is it with you seeing another naked man? What is it with you seeing these naked men lately? I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. It's like I just attract them or something.
You hang out in Vaseline Alley long enough.
Yeah, yeah, making jokes. Yeah, it's like I don't know what it is, dude. They just some guy standing there. Like, these are mentally deranged people, obviously. I thought that was wild. Standing there hard. I've had I've gotten a little bit of since I've been here too. I've figured out I've gotten a little bit of an addiction going already on these kolaches. You ever heard of those? It's like the pig in a blanket, It's like the sausage. And speaking of pig in a blanket, but anyway, they got like cheese in them. How do you say it? Do you know? Do you know what I'm talking about? Kolaches? Apparently it's a Texas thing. I was unaware of it, but they're everywhere here. And I've already eaten them like 3 days in a row.
No, I have recently heard about that. I can't remember what I was watching, but they were talking about it.
Well, they're delicious. So if you ever get a chance, you should have one. I bet they got them at the Buc-ee's over there. If you want to go over there and get you some breakfast.
Get me a wiener with some cheese.
Yeah. Pig in a blanket. I keep losing hours, too. This weekend was daylight savings time.
Yeah.
So I came from Pacific time. I lost an hour going to Mountain. I lost an hour going to Central. And now I'm down another hour. What's the deal with that?
It's really like Monday night for you.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, it's like
Monday morning.
8 a.m.
Yeah, never mind. I got that backwards.
I figured out something else I wanted to tell you about.
I'm listening.
I was looking at flights. Like, Austin has an Allegiant airport.
Uh-huh.
Or they have like Allegiant at the airport. Allegiant does those cheap flights.
Uh-huh.
Where you have to fly out on a certain day. You don't get to pick your days. You like fly out on a Friday, fly back on a Monday.
Right.
But it's like $100 flights. And I discovered that Knoxville happens to be one of Austin's like destination cities.
No.
One of the matchup cities. So I can get round trip flights to Knoxville and back if I need to come to town for something for like $100.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Have you started looking at possible dates?
I thought about maybe a couple of my friends were asking me about like my birthday weekend because my birthday is April 4th and I could fly in maybe the 5th through the 8th. I thought about maybe coming in, just hang out for a weekend or something. I don't know, watch a baseball game, something like that,
That could be good for the old mental health.
Yeah, it's good to see some friends from time to time.
Maybe hit an open mic night together.
Yeah, we can go up.
We could all go and pressure you into telling my jokes.
Yeah, or you could go up with me. We could go up and do like a comedy duo thing.
Do they do that in open mics? Do they ever do like comedy duo things?
I haven't seen that, but
maybe that could be our thing.
It could be done though. They used to do that back in the day, back in like the 50s. You had these comedy teams.
I mean, I've heard of Abbott and Costello, but that's it.
Yeah, there was Abbott and Costello. Carlin did it with what was that guy's name? Jack Bruce. His first few years doing comedy, he was part of a comedy team.
Have you gotten up in Austin yet and did comedy?
I haven't gotten up yet, no, but I was, I'm thinking about tonight probably try to go to Kill Tony, though.
And just watch in the crowd?
Well, I don't know, because it's on Mondays, it's every Monday, so I think I need to try to go sign up for that. I mean, I probably won't get on stage, but you got to keep signing up for it to do it.
Okay, so so it's one of those things that you just go and you just sign up and hope they pull your name.
Yeah, but apparently sometimes there's like 200 comedians, and they put the open micers in a bar like across the street. So I don't think you actually get to see the Kill Tony show.
So Kill Tony. Tell me about this. I've heard of it. I know it's like affiliated with Rogan. I got a little bit of an idea. So, do you get drawn? You go up there, you try to impress them in like a minute or two, and then they just make fun of you, basically.
Yeah, you get 60 seconds. So it's Tony Hinchcliffe. He's like a roast comedian. I mean, that's what he's known for, is being a great roast comedian. I mean, now he's known for Kill Tony, though, because it's the #1 live podcast in America, apparently. So,
yeah, I know it's a big deal.
yeah, it's a big deal. It's basically it's open micers. Like they have a few regulars. It started at the Comedy Store, and then they moved it to Austin. So, and now they do.
And then they just have other comedians there judging them and making fun of them, right?
Yeah.
One of the only clips I've seen is whenever they had Ric Flair up there, and then Ric Flair was like being a baby about it, and Shane Gillis said he was a bitch and all that, or a pussy or whatever, and like Rick was upset.
They do it at Joe Rogan's club, though, at the Comedy Mothership, which I drove by there when I first got here, but they've had 6th Street closed off since then because of the festival. So I don't even know. I don't even know if I can get down in there tonight. But
do you have a minute?
Yeah, I could do a minute. Yeah.
What would your minute be, though?
I mean, I got different things I could put in it. I'd have to organize it, but.
Well, how much of a notice do you get, though? Like, if you went tonight and they pulled your name, you wouldn't have a chance to organize it, right? It's just time to go, right?
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I would organize it beforehand, but it wouldn't take me long to put a minute together. 60 seconds is, I mean, basically that's maybe like 3 good jokes. I mean, depending on how long they are. But
all right, let's do it. Let's go.
But it can change your life if you get a golden ticket.
All right, let's hear it. Give me your minute.
I don't have my minute together.
I'll give you some time to get it ready. If you can't do a minute on this podcast in front of your friends, why do you think you got a minute to go kill Tony? Let's go.
I don't know which jokes I would put in the minute.
Well, that's my point. You got to have this minute ready. You have to be ready.
I don't have it ready.
Well, you got to be ready before you go. You need this minute. If it could change your life, you need to have the best minute of your life ready to go at any time. If you're going to be in Austin, well, you said you're going to go tonight and put your name down. If you get called up and you're not ready, your life is ruined forever.
Yeah, well, after the podcast, I was going to put my minute together.
My point is, if it's not already ready, then it's not ready.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I've got material I can put in it. I just don't know which jokes I'd put in it. I'd have to look at my Rolodex of jokes, see what I want, see what works best, see what I think would be best,
But you understand my point, though, right? Or do you understand my point? I'm saying
no, not really.
If you don't already have the minute crafted, then it's not good enough.
Okay, well, I don't have it crafted.
Then I don't think you should sign up tonight. That's my point.
Well, I would have the minute before I signed up. Yeah. I mean,
but you don't have the minute now. That's my point. My point is, like, you should have one good joke that this is my best joke. I've got it. And this is my second best joke. And boom, I got my best routine if I ever need to impress somebody. If I meet Joe Rogan in an elevator and I can say something funny to him, what am I going to say? That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
what's your best rap verse? If you were a rapper and you had to spit one verse for Kanye West, I've told you about what happened with Big Sean, right? Where Big Sean got backstage at the concert and he was trying to impress Kanye, and Kanye's like, "Okay, go rap." Now you would be like, "Oh, well, hold on, let me get a beat, let me do this." No, Big Sean's like, "Okay, boom," and he spit, and then Kanye's like, "Okay, boom, you're signed because you were ready and you had that ready to go." I'm saying you need to be walking around at all times with a minute ready to go.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, I don't think Kill Tony's going to come out here on this dirt road and happen to knock on the door, and say, "Hey, it's good to meet you. Are you have your minute for me?" You know what I mean? Like I would have to get it ready before going to the show.
Well, that's fine, but you were also ready. But you were also hanging out in L.A. though. You weren't on a dirt road just 3 days ago. You were in Tinseltown, baby.
What does that have to do with anything?
That you should have had a minute ready then too. That's my point.
I've got a minute I can do. It's a matter of organizing it in terms of what should I use. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know off the top of my head what I should use.
Well, that's my point. My point is you should have a minute that you have fully memorized that can kill. That's my point. Is that you should be able to pull out a minute at any time.
Well, I can figure that out probably in half an hour.
Then you just boom. That's what I want you to do. I want you to get it and then just boom, have that shit rehearsed and at all times you feel comfortable getting into it. That way, if somebody asks, that's just my point. Is like if somebody asks you your best minute, I think you should have an answer.
Okay, yeah, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, well, all I'm saying is I
because
think you should do it.
well, yeah, that's part of the plan. I mean, because you
Okay.
got to have 60 seconds. I would not go up on Kill Tony with just not prepared, because like it does have a chance to change your life. Like the chances of that are like you're probably not going to get a golden ticket, but basically what happens is if you do well enough and you get laughs, then Brian Redband, he's got his own club here, the Sunset Strip Club, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll invite you to what he calls the secret show, and then you're kind of welcomed into the family, so to speak. But you got to be good enough. You just need 3 solid jokes, or and that's what I would try to figure out is what would be best for me. Would it be like self-deprecating material, like the fat material, or would it be like something different than that? Would it be like commentary on things, or would it be just maybe one long story? I don't know. So that's I mean, I'd have to prepare that.
Well, yeah, and again, I don't know if we're getting bogged down in semantics or talking about saying the same thing, but like, I think you should have practiced that minute like 100 times before you do this.
Okay.
That way, like, I'm just saying, like, have it as tight as possible. And it doesn't be in front of a crowd every time, but like, you throwing it together the day of, to me, is what I'm saying not to do.
Well, I've done 5 minutes 20 times, so does that count for my 100 minutes? Because like,
well, I imagine you don't use the same minute every time, though, in the same setup into everything, though, right? I mean, I imagine
right.
you're just piecing together different stuff. No, I'm saying like a 60-second start and conclusion that maybe even ties it back together. Like it would have, like, in my mind, the 60 seconds should all flow together and like be related, not just here's a joke over here, here's another joke. It's like kind of like just basically a 1 minute, treat it like a 1 minute hour special, like in my mind. And like, how like Chris Rock, we went to see him. They did 30 stops on the tour before they got to the live recording.
Mm-hmm.
The live,
Yeah.
like everyone does those to get ready for the actual special. So in my mind, you do that and you rehearse it 50 times like the professionals do, and then boom, then they do the recording, they do the big show. Like in my mind, that's what I'm saying.
Well, in my mind, what I'm thinking is like the open mics that I do, I would just spend the first minute of the 5 minutes doing that. Of basically,
Well, yeah. If you did that from here, that's what I'm saying is like to set the minute up and then just do that like 50 times and practice it.
Yeah, like if I do a 5 minute open mic, I would hit them with my best minute first, and like get that first minute rehearsed so that it would be ready for Kill Tony. I mean, yeah.
We're saying the same thing, but I was saying like because I mean, under the idea that you got lucky in a 1 in a million chance you signed up tonight, they pulled you up tonight. I would just be like, hey, that minute's not tight enough. You'd be doing yourself a disservice. I understand it's low chance or whatever, but I just think you should always have your best thing ready to go.
Well, and you could be pulled again. I mean, the
okay,
point
I didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know if it was a one time and you're pretty much shot forever or what.
The point is that you have to keep showing up because, like, there was a guy on there a couple weeks ago that had signed up like over 90 times before.
But had he been on stage? Had he been on stage multiple times?
Yeah, and that's my plan. I mean, I plan to be on stage at other places, and then Kill Tony's kind of the highlight reel.
Well, no, I'm asking if you only get one chance at Kill Tony.
No, you can get multiple chances. It's all completely random. Like sometimes 200 open micers sign up for that, and so the chances of getting pulled are low. But if you get pulled, then yeah, I mean you're on the show. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, I'll get that together. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll get it together. I did go see Tom Segura last night.
At just like one of his shows, he was doing a.
Yeah. There's a little town north of here, a place called Belton, between here and Waco. He was doing a show.
How much was that?
It was only like $30 because it was in a good sized arena, like not a huge arena, but a smaller arena, kind of like the convention center or the Civic Auditorium in Knoxville. It's a place about like that.
Was he good? Was he funny?
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Did he talk about getting canceled? Did he talk about making poor people mad?
Nah, not really. He didn't really mention that. he still has a pretty good sized audience. I mean, the place was full, so I think he's doing okay, despite the few people in the comments that have turned on him. But it was a good show. It was good, and then the opener that he had was really good too. I think his name was Rick Fox or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
Rick Fox?
I think so.
Was he
Something
black?
like that. No, he was white. He was like,
okay, I was going to say there's a basketball player named Rick Fox.
I think he said he was in Parks and Rec. I don't know.
I like that show.
I don't know. You'd probably recognize the guy if you saw him, but I can't remember exactly what his name was. I want to say it was Rick Fox, but I don't know. Anyway, I got a haircut yesterday too. Did you notice?
No, you look good. That might be your last. That might be your last haircut before you are just bald now.
It was a woman from Puerto Rico that cut my hair, and she was just talking the whole time, just blabbering on about all kinds of stuff. She was kind of nutty. Seems like every time I go to a Great Clips and get my hair cut, I run into like every Great Clips hairstylist has like crazy stories when I go in there. And she was telling me about she had moved here from Florida. She lived down around St. Pete, I guess, but she was from Puerto Rico originally. And she was telling me about something about this girl she knew down there got bit by an alligator, and like an alligator had her arm in her mouth or something, but the girl knew that you got to put the fingers in the nose of the alligator. That's how you get them to open their mouth. You don't just try to jerk your arm out and hit them or whatever. You got to put your fingers in their nose, and it basically makes it where the alligator can't breathe, and then that's how you get them to release you, because they have to open their mouth. That's when you pull your arm out. And anyway, she said when she was down there, she encountered a lot of gators because she lived in Orlando for a while, and all the streams and lakes and everything in Florida are connected. So even though you wouldn't think there's alligators in Orlando, there are. They show up in the yards, and she said she'd seen anacondas and pythons and all that stuff. And anyway, I said thanks for the buzz cut, and it's good to meet you. I won't be back.
Great
Crazy.
Clips is like the homeless shelter of hair salons.
Yeah, basically.
So
Wow.
you just plug the nose of an alligator, huh? And he has to breathe. He has to open his arm.
That's what she said. If you ever have your arm in an alligator's mouth, hopefully you can remember to do that.
I truly hope to never have to put that to use. I truly hope to never have any body part in an alligator. I've always heard you attack the shark's eyes. Just hit the shark in the eye with something. If the shark has got you.
Maybe that's the best way to go. I don't know. I don't know exactly what you do, but she was crazy.
Kirk Fox is who the comedian is.
That's it. How'd you find that so quick?
Well, I just Googled Rick Fox Parks and Rec. It came up Kirk Fox. He was also in that. He was also in that Jury Duty TV show recently.
Yeah, he said that too. He was funny. He was a very unique guy. Like, I don't know. It's weird when you go watch comedy shows because you can't use your phone, and like I remember that he had me really laughing. Like he had the room, in his hand. He was a great opener, but I can't remember anything he said. And then like Tom's set was great, but I don't remember much about it. It's like I don't know. I don't think I have memory problems.
So I wondered if comedians do that to keep their material from leaking online. That way, in case they're trying new stuff in these shows, and they don't want them to get out before it's ready for public consumption. Because I imagine most of these big comedians have Netflix specials or some type of special they're going to try to sell. But I also wonder if they just don't want you stealing their jokes.
Yeah, probably.
Just jotting them down bar for bar and taking them and using them yourself.
Yeah, that's a big thing that happens. So that's probably part of it. But I think a lot of it too is they're worried about like getting canceled online.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, like if they say a joke that hasn't been fully fleshed out and they tell it in an inappropriate way, and you get canceled.
Well, and if you just take it out of context and like, it can be like isolated. It could be horrible. I don't
Yeah.
know. It wasn't one of those where they make you put your phone in the bag, though. He just said there's just signs of it that said don't use your phone. So it wasn't like extremely strict. Sometimes they make you put it in that little magnetic bag.
Yeah, I hate those.
You don't like being away from your phone that long?
Well, nah, it's not really that. It's just that I don't like carrying that big ass bag around. Like the bag won't really fit in your pocket.
No, it won't. Yeah, you got to just kind of hold the bag.
Yeah, no, that to me is the biggest issue is trying to keep up with the bag. Like I can be somewhere without my phone for hours. I'm not worried about that. I like my phone, but I'm not addicted to it like that. It's mostly those bags don't fit in my pocket, and I have to just sit there and hold it, and I don't want to do it.
You got to start carrying a satchel or something, one of those man purses in there, so you can put it in that, I guess.
Like Bruno Mars did that for his concert, and that was a hassle because I like to get up and shake my ass, I like to get up and dance a little bit, especially at fun concerts like that, and it just felt weird dancing holding my phone in my hands, not being able to put it somewhere. And then if you set it down, you're not going to be able to tell which one's which because if they can easily get mixed up. It's not like you can see which phone is, whose phone is whose.
This is the world we live in.
It's the world we live in. It's the world we live in. Frank fell down the stairs this morning.
Really?
I've never seen a dog. I've never seen a dog fall down the stairs. I don't know if that means he's like getting old and he's getting ready to die, or if like he's just like humans. And because I disoriented him this morning, the time changes got him disoriented too. Because he's like, no, I still got time to sleep, but I was a little late this morning, so I had to hop up and just immediately get up and come downstairs and get ready to go. And I don't know if he just didn't get a chance to stretch and get his bearings. I never turned the lights on either. I just like walking around in the dark, and with about 5 stairs to go, I hear him just kind of slip and just roll down the stairs. And I was worried that like he was going to get up, his back was going to be broken or something, or like something had gone really wrong. But he got up and his tail was just wagging, and he just trotted to his water bowl and got some water. But I was like, "What the hell just happened, Frank?" And he just goes and drink some water and acts like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, slipped.
I've never seen a dog slip and fall like that, but I think Frank might have.
It's not funny, but it is funny. It's like when you see somebody get hurt, but they make some awful noise, and it's hard not to laugh at it.
It's not funny now. Ask me again later in the week if he's got a limp and his back is hurt, whether or not I still think it's funny. But yeah, he just tumbled down the last like 5 steps like he was a drunk man.
That also that reminds me of Tom Segura joke on his last special where he's talking about his wife falling down the stairs. And he's like, I know this sounds bad. And he calls 911. He says, look, I know this sounds bad, but my wife fell down the stairs. It's like, you pushed her, didn't you sack of shit?
Now, are you planning on working until, because you got your job, they drug tested you.
Well, I don't officially have it yet, but I plan to hear something on that probably pretty soon. I would say today or maybe tomorrow. I would think.
So in the meantime, you're just going to do deliveries and such, or what?
Yeah. I'll just be doing my deliveries. I got to drive. I mean, it's almost an hour to get into Austin from where I'm at. Like I said, I'm out here middle of nowhere. But I did one good thing about out here is I found a cafe that you don't have to pay to eat at. So that's if money's running short or something, I can eat at the Pay What You Can cafe.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You could also just go into Chick-fil-A's and just say you're DoorDash and just pick up food.
Yeah, I think that's technically illegal. I don't know, but Chipotle, you can do that there too. They just have the bags ready for taking. So
any food place I go into, they always just kind of set the DoorDash to the side. You just got to be the first one there. I told you about my buddy. He used to do that all the time in college at Cookout. Just wait for all the drunk kids to get into Cookout, and they start calling off random numbers. Just walk up and grab one.
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
That's all you got to do because they don't call your name. It's just like number 68. You just got to be the first one there. Yeah, that's it.
That's me. Thanks. Yeah, there's definitely options. But this cafe I found is like it's a charity. It's one of these recovery things. Like they cook for you, and the whole idea is they take donations for like halfway houses and stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather you just rob Chick-fil-A and like Taco Bell. I'd rather you rob those places than the charity cafe
Well, it's
that's
not.
trying to do good.
Yeah, but you're not robbing them. It's because you're
You
not.
are. You aren't, but you are. It's
Yeah, but you're
worse.
you're not.
Karmically, it's worse to go there and not pay anything.
You're not required to pay though.
But you're not in halfway house recovery.
Yeah, but
You're
you
not
don't
a
have to
recovering
be.
addict.
You don't have to be in need to eat there. It's just that what you donate goes to that.
I understand the concept, but also I know that whenever there's the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station, they look at you weird if you just go in there and grab 15 of them and walk out.
Okay, so what if I leave like say $5? Say I got a $5 bill, I get some eggs, some pancakes, some biscuits and gravy, some bacon, some ham, and
If
then
you
I
leave
leave $5.
$5, I think that's okay as long as you don't go back and do that every day.
Seems to me like a pretty good way to eat for free. But you can't really do it every day though. I mean, maybe you could, but I would feel pressure. Not like I wouldn't feel shame, but I would feel
You would
like
feel shame. That's what you're about to describe is shame.
it's not shame though. It's like I would feel like they're judging me.
Yes, and you would feel shame about being judged because you would know deep down that what you're doing is not right, so you would feel shame.
It's not.
If you were confident what you were doing, you wouldn't care if they were judging you. Because I know enough about you. I've heard enough about your stories. Don't make me remind you about you calling that poor girl a cunt because you felt like she had wronged you. I've heard plenty of stories at you at bars where you're mean to bartenders because you think that they deserve it. You don't leave them tips because you feel like you've been wronged. You don't feel shame if you feel like you're in the right. You feel shame whenever you know what you're doing is wrong.
I think what it is that I would feel like I'm being judged. Like, oh, that's the fat guy that comes in here and eats for free. It's like,
Right.
I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
feel.
feel that way if you were giving them $10 or $15. You would just be the fat guy eating, and you would feel like, you know what? Fair transaction.
Well, yesterday I gave him a full 20. So
Oh, well, you're kind of, yeah, you can kind of carry that over a little bit.
I feel like the next couple meals could be $5 meals, and then they'll be like, yeah, sometimes he shorts us a little bit, but then he'll leave a 20 when he's got the money on hand. So
Did you eat $20 worth of food?
it felt reasonable to me. I mean, I got a breakfast special, and it was 3 eggs scrambled with cheese, ham, sausage, and a hash brown casserole. And then it comes with pancakes too, like blueberry
Jesus Christ.
pancakes. So I mean, you get that at Cracker Barrel plus the coffee. You get that at Cracker Barrel. That's going to run you $20 probably. So,
No tip?
and I figured that's included in the. They don't have a place to tip. It's just you just put in the envelope. You put your donation. That's the whole
Oh,
idea.
you don't have to make it public?
No, no, no. They just bring
So
the
like
little.
you don't hand them a $20 bill. You just hand them an envelope, and they have no idea how much is in it.
Well, they bring you that black. You know what I'm talking about? Like not envelope, but like at a restaurant, you put your credit card in the little plastic thing at the top. It's like that, but you just put your money in there, and they don't ask you to pay a certain amount or anything. You just whatever you're paying, you put it in that black sleeve.
Okay.
So yeah, I could definitely go if I went every day. Say if I left a 20 every third day, I could leave fives on day 2 and 3.
Just mix in a couple Chick-fil-A DoorDash robberies.
Robberies.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You can eat for free at restaurants too. You just get up and leave before the check. You just get up and go to the bathroom and then just leave. It'll be fine. Just make sure you don't leave anything at your table.
I was friends with some girls in college that always did that. You couldn't take them anywhere. We'd go out and eat, and they would dine and dash everywhere.
Yeah, I think some of my friends single-handedly put Buffalo Wild Wings out of business on the Strip because I think that was a frequent move for them to just
Well,
constantly eat at Buffalo Wild Wings and then just leave because it was so crowded and so hectic. You could easily get out and no one would know who the hell you were or what happened. I
yeah,
imagine a
there's
lot of college kids did that at Buffalo Wild Wings, which is why it went out of business.
there's some places that are set up for dine and dash.
Yeah.
Like it's easier at some places. And Cracker Barrel to me is the one that always comes to mind because they got that little store in the front.
Cracker
So
Barrel has no way to know if you've paid or not, especially now. Like
no,
in the past, Cracker Barrel, the idea was like, hey, everyone pays up front, but now they've brought it to the table where you can either scan your QR code and pay, or pay in the front. There's no way to know who's paid and who's not paid. And I've been there with my family enough to know that like you have 8 people, only one person is paying, so 7 people are just walking out before it's paid for. So no, you
yeah,
can dine and dash Cracker Barrel very, very easily all the time. I think they are trying to just be like, hey, everyone's good people here. We're in the South.
yeah.
This is the good old boy system here. You pay what what you're supposed to.
That's probably why they're having to crack down on it because they've lost so much in dine and dash. Because
Are they cracking down on it? Have they made statements about it?
Oh, well, I don't know. You said now that sometimes you pay at the table, so
Well, no, you can, but I think it makes it easier to dine and dash now, just because there could be security at the door that says, hey, I see that you didn't go up to the front, but then you can say, oh, I paid at the table. They would have no way of checking. Then you're just out the door and you're gone.
You just go peruse around the store if you make a couple little circles around the cloth dresses or whatever in there, and it's a nice Yankee candle. Boy, what a wonderful scent. And then you slip right out.
I disagree there. I think that do people shop at the end of their Cracker Barrel experience? Because for me, it was always before my Cracker Barrel experience when there was a wait. That's when we did our shopping in the lobby, the little store. Otherwise, we're straight to the exit. So I would not hang around and wait for people to catch me. If I was down and dashing from Cracker Barrel, I'd just immediately go get in my car and leave.
I think it's both. I think some people shop after the meal.
Interesting. I've always shopped beforehand.
But they got so many paths in the store part. You slip by the checker set. They got those country music CDs right there by the door. You kind of make a lap through there, and then you're gone.
Oh, Dolly dropped a new album, huh?
Wow.
Looking to see if the waiter or waitress spots you. You can always play it off like, oh, yeah, I'm waiting for somebody. They're in the bathroom. I'm going to pay. Don't worry.
What the hell are they selling in there? What's up with the things they're selling? It's like, just what I needed, some licorice and a Dwight Yoakam CD.
People buy it. People buy it. Little kids go in there and buy toys and big bags of chocolate and whatnot. It sells.
Yeah.
You take your grandma in there. She'll find her a quilt. She'll find her a little nice spiritual thing to put on her table, to put in her cabinet. Yeah, it works.
Get a brand new cast iron skillet.
It works.
All kinds of stuff you can get at Cracker Barrel. It's a nice little store.
Anything else today?
The whole Sister Jean thing was 6 years ago, and she's still alive.
Who would have thought?
She's still alive. She was 98 6 years ago.
We played word association with Grant Williams on Wednesday because we were told not to ask certain things. So I tried to do the word association and try to maybe ask a couple things that I weren't really allowed to.
Yeah, hog.
So I didn't do that.
Exposure.
Social media, dick pics. I didn't do that, but
right.
Draymond Green. I was hoping maybe he dropped a bitch on Draymond Green because Grant was playing by the rules. He would just say one word, no sentences, nothing. It was the first thing that came to his mind. And I was hoping I'd say Draymond Green. He'd be like, bitch. But he didn't. He went with competitor. and then I went with Sister Jean. And I was hoping he said, but he didn't. All he said was pain. That's what he said. Sister Jean makes him think of as pain.
Oh, yeah.
I said, yeah, my co-host says the same thing. My former co-host says the same thing.
You didn't say that.
I didn't. No, I acted like you didn't exist.
Hey, you know why a Catholic church has such high ceilings?
Why?
So the nuns have room to fly around.
I thought that was going to be a more tasteless joke than that.
No. I heard, that's not my joke. I heard some guy tell that.
Did you listen to my 25-minute chat with my close personal friend, Rick Barnes?
No. I saw some
all the goddamn driving you've been doing the last couple of days, you couldn't be bothered to listen to my 25-minute chat with my close personal friend, Rick Barnes?
No, I didn't get a chance to hear that. I saw some chatter about it though. That some people were talking about it on the X platform. That he was real emotional about the seniors or something, like talking about how he loves Santi and Josiah and how they couldn't make a shot to save their life.
Well, then after the game, he agreed with what I had been saying about enough of the senior day before the game. Enough. No more senior day festivities before the game. We got to figure out a different way to do it.
Those
I don't
guys
want these
were,
boys going out there crying. I had talked about going to like my stepsister's college basketball game, her senior day, and it's women, so it's a little bit different. But they were all like a blubbery mess. They were all crying, mascara running down their eyes, and then they came out and got the doors blown off of them and lost by like 30. And from that moment on, I was like, hey, we don't need senior day stuff. We don't need to make these kids sad before they go out there and play. And after the game, Josiah was like, yeah, I was too emotional. I came out slow. I was crying. And then after the game, Rick Barnes said the same thing. So at least maybe now that'll be the end of the senior day festivities.
Is that not kind of a convenient excuse, though? I mean, a fifth-year senior's got to be ready to play.
Especially one that went through senior day last year, too.
yeah, right.
He did senior day last year, too.
And
but I do think I do think it messes with the vibe a little bit. Takes you out of your routine at the very least. Yeah,
poor Santi. I mean, he couldn't hit a fucking – if the rim was 8 feet wide, he'd miss a shot. I mean, I don't know.
I take that back. He doesn't suck, but he sucked on Saturday. It's been tough to watch this year offensively.
He's had a very tough year offensively. But I don't know. You know, I hope it's not as simple as just that we'll go as far as Connect takes us. I mean, I hope we get some help at some point from some other guys.
He was awesome on Saturday, though.
Yep, he was. I mean, he's unbelievable. But if we have a game like that, you know, we're probably out in the second round.
Yeah, if a team shoots like, I think they said 65% in the second half from three, if a team does that in the second half of a tournament game, we're definitely getting bounced. So,
well, what can you do about that? Is that just, you know?
I don't know. Sometimes good players just make shots. Like, I mean, some of those were deep too, and like, you know, a couple of them were in transition where the guys were open. I don't know how you survive those. You know, I don't know. Kentucky hit every big shot they had to hit in the second half.
Is it as simple as guarding the three better, or do you just, I mean, some of them were contested, some of them weren't, but like, I mean, the White just kept, I mean, he kept hitting.
Yeah, I think in basketball, good offense is always going to win out. I don't think it's the same as football. I think in football, good defense wins out. I think in basketball, good offense always wins out.
Yeah, maybe we need to hire an assistant coach to just focus on guarding the three. Somebody that's really good at preaching guarding the three, like Kelly Harper. Maybe she could come over and coach that part.
Did you see the end of that game?
I did. Yeah, I'm surprised they were even in that position, though, to be honest with you. I mean.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. I mean, especially whenever they got down 23 points or whatever it was. But that's about as bad as you could fuck up the end of a game.
It's pretty bad.
Between the two missed free throws, intentionally fouling to give them a chance to set something up. Because, like, this isn't to me to being sexist, but, like, I can't imagine that most women playing college basketball can get the ball to the rim at half court on the run.
Right.
Like, I think it's like a 1% chance that they are making that shot on the run from three around half court. Like that. Most aren't strong enough to even get it to the rim. So, like, why were we even fouling there? Just let her chuck one up, and on the 1% chance it goes in, just live with that. I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, you know how women are when it comes to making layups.
Well, this is a layup from half court. Like, let her just chuck that bitch from half court, and I don't think it's going anywhere near the rim. I think it's going to come up like 4 feet short.
Yeah.
So I thought that was dumb. I thought that was awful, and then just to have a woman at the top of the key, wide ass open. I understand she's the center and she hadn't made a shot, but like you got to have somebody out there. And Kelly had somebody defending the damn rim as if a basketball player was going to throw an alley oop. A women's basketball player was going to throw from half court and throw an alley oop to somebody to lay it into tie. It was about as bad of a coaching performance as you could see.
Yeah, hopefully they'll fire her ass.
Yeah, they will. They will. And that was the look of a woman that knew that too.
Nothing more dangerous than a woman on the verge of being fired.
Amen. Now, did Derrick Henry go somewhere? Did we miss that? Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see it.
I'm seeing
He,
Derrick Henry. Let's see
he
here.
didn't
Is he
come
found?
here.
Let's see. Tony Pollard leaving Dallas. Ugh, the Titans are signing Pollard. Ugh.
You don't like Tony Pollard?
I thought he was bad last year. 3 years, $24 million seems crazy. Am I seeing Derrick Henry somewhere? Ugh. Gross. I'll have to read a little bit more about it, but I don't like it so far. I don't like it one bit. All right. Maybe that's why people are saying Henry's gone, is just because he is going to not come back now that they got Pollard.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Work on that minutes. I'm going to ask for the minutes on Thursday.
Okay.
We're gonna get you ready for Kill Tony. We're gonna see if you can kill Johnny.
I'm going to go get a golden ticket and change my life.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but you got to get those reps in, so you got to be comfortable enough to give it to us before you go. That's in front of a live audience, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's several thousand people in there.
Okay. So, yeah, get that minute ready over the next couple of days.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. That's what we're working on. So,
best of luck. I'll get this uploaded, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
See you, bye.